17 members and associates of the Hells Angels are facing criminal charges in a violent attack.
Federal agents allege the outlaws sold drugs, traded firearms, and engaged in insurance fraud and even tampered with government witnesses.
We have learned there is cell phone video as well as surveillance video of evidence in this attack.
The U.S. Attorney characterized today's raids as historic, the largest federal bust on organized criminal gang activity.
Retaliation is common for crimes involving biker gangs. However, it could happen anywhere because of how interconnected gangs have become nationwide.
The 3-year investigation resulted in 42 federal indictments on a variety of charges, including racketeering, money laundering, drugs, gambling, insurance fraud, and extortion.
There's a bunch of bikers up here, and they're shooting guns and stuff. I need the police now.
But on foot going towards 2nd Street. Okay, receive.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and I'm back. I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch this show. If you guys haven't seen, I was in Washington, D.C. for the last 3 days or something like that. But shout out to everybody involved with that situation. So they're trying to get people out of jail with clemency for people who are in prison for marijuana, nonviolent crimes. Some of them got life sentences. So if you guys don't know, I got brung on to film that event, and it went really good. Shout out to everybody involved. Travis. Shout out to Chad Marks. Shout out to the How You Doing show. Make sure you guys go check them out. You spell it like this. The How You Doing show. Make sure you guys go subscribe to them right now. And I want to give a shout out to Freedom Soda. I want to give a shout out to Beeswax. The Freedom Fighters. Travis. Shout out to everybody that was there. It was really cool. We were at the White House. He had these cardboard cutouts. First, there was an event with, we live streamed it. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's up there now. I'm going to be uploading just each part where the people were speaking instead of having the in-between. In a live stream, you can't really pause it. You can't edit while it's up there. So I edited it. I don't put it back up. And you guys will be able to see each part. So the first part, Chad Marks is on the panel. The second part is a bunch of people who were thrown in prison for marijuana. The third part is 3 people who had life sentences for marijuana, but they got out because of President Trump. So shout out to everybody involved. They're doing great things for people that really don't deserve to be in prison for the rest of their life. It's really a messed up thing. If you guys don't know, the Pope died. Hopefully Anthony Raimondi wasn't around him. Shout out to Anthony Raimondi. The Vatican really does believe that possible that Raimondi was involved with something, because they are being tight-lipped about the whole situation. There have been some comments, and it turns out that Raimondi's blood cousin or uncle was really there. Like, he really is a part of the stocks and all this stuff. Marcinkus. Back in the day when I first started doing this, I did a lot of research on Raimondi. I want to just bring somebody on for just to bring them on. I'm not the clickbaiter type of person. But he has great stories. Shout out to Raimondi. We're definitely getting him back on. Matter of fact, I do got some new interviews with Raimondi. And hopefully we'll get an in-person interview going soon. But today, hit that like button. Subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Today, we're going to talk about this situation where an alleged group of outlaws beat a man to death in a bar, outside of a bar, And the guy was just a civilian. Beat him to death. Now, I don't think anyone was ever arrested for this situation. But it's pretty crazy because they take their cuts. Some of them have soft colors on. Some of them have cuts. And they turn their shirts inside out and go over and beat this man to death. And I don't think they were ever arrested or charged. So this is a crazy situation. Just like the road rage shooting where the alleged outlaw was shooting on the highway. We don't know if it's someone that just threw a cut on. You don't really know until, you find out what's really going on. So today we're going to talk about that situation. And I got a video to go along with it. That's the victim on the left side. You could see the arrow in the middle pointing at the guy's stomach. So the guy's stomach, that's the guy taking his shirt and turning it inside out so he can hide his outlaw patch on the back. This guy has a cut on right next to him. I mean, there's cameras everywhere. You can't get away with nothing. And it's crazy. I say alleged outlaw because you don't know if it's really, they say that people could buy these cuts online. Who knows? I'm not going to speculate if they're real or not real or what the deal is with them. Lindsay, how are you? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate everything you do for this channel. Jaman, what's going on? Larry, what's going on? How are you? Rory, shout out to Rory. Hungover Closer, howdy y'all. Joe Malone, what's going on? Mountain Woman, how are you? Shout out to all you guys. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. We got a lot of content coming. And let's get into this first story. So, this is the alleged victim. It says, suspect, motorcycle members sought in man's fatal beating. Detectives released surveillance video in man's death after beating in Davie, Florida. Davie Police Department detectives are still searching for suspected motorcycle club members responsible for the brutal beating death that resulted in the death of 57-year-old man last year. Detectives released surveillance video showing several possible witnesses and a group of motorcyclists leaving the parking lot after the beating. Detectives suspect the Outlaw Motorcycle Club members. Michael Kline was beaten July 4, 2018 outside of a Road Dawgs Saloon on State Street Road 84. According to the lieutenant, they left Kline bleeding on the ground. Davie Fire Rescue took Kline to Broward General Hospital. Officers said Kline suffered fractured skull, fractured orbital bone, subdural hematoma. Kline died as a result of his injuries on November 14th. So damn, this beating happened July 4th, and he died November 14th. So he lived in a vegetated state, July, August, September, October, November, 5 months. He was in the hospital and died 5 months later. A lot of times these cases will be a manslaughter case. And I don't know why that's the case, but they don't take them as serious as like if you were to shoot a dude or something like that. It's just like a bar fight in back of a bar. I've seen people who blatantly just kill somebody at a bar, right? And they get manslaughter for it. It's weird. Matter of fact, these two guys out in my state where I'm from, this guy came into a bar. He had a support your local 81 shirt on. and he was in an alleged outlaw bar. These two guys beat him to death, throw him down an embankment. He ends up dying, and they get manslaughter. Crazy. I think the charges actually got dropped on that case, but it's insane. So Kline's son, Michael Kline Jr., told police officers that he had been at Road Dawgs earlier in the evening to have a few drinks with his father and decided to leave him there. That was probably a bad idea. Kline's son also told police officers he remembers seeing several Outlaw Motorcycle Club members there, and his father had argued with one of them a few weeks earlier. Before the beating, Kline left the bar to go buy cigarettes at a nearby Exxon gas station. A witness there told police officers that a man was wearing a long beard and long black hair asked Kline for a cigarette. The witness said Kline gave it to him and walked back with him towards Road Dawgs. Police said Kline never made it back to the bar. Officers found him laying on the ground bleeding. So I got a video to go along. This video is the guy changing his shirt inside out. And this is the video of the guy before he goes to get his cigarettes. But let's get into the video. I'll show you guys how this all went down. Hit that like button.
Davie.
Police now looking for a group of suspects after a man was so badly beaten that he died. Let's get over to Hatzel Vela. He's in Davie now with a closer look at the video.
That's not the one. Hold up. Hold up. Wrong video. What the hell? Oh, man. I didn't save it yet. Hold on. Maybe I could save it while I'm on here. I don't know if that'll be possible. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm going to try it. So, all right, while we wait for that, computer froze. Am I frozen? So let's talk about, there's an indictment. Can you guys hear? If you can hear me, put it in the chat. So let's talk about a second thug rider has pleaded guilty in a case. The investigation, and that's not good for a motorcycle club to have their members pleading guilty for a gang conspiracy, because that kind of it My apologies. I'm back. All right, I got the video ready. Shout out to everybody. I apologize for that little inconvenience. But let's get back to the content. I have to get the video for you guys, you know. We need that. We need the video. This thing's acting all types of fucking Davie.
Police now looking for a group of suspects after a man was so badly
Doesn't even make sense. Whatever.
beaten that he died. Let's get over to Hatzel Vela. He's in Davie now with a closer look at the video that was just released in this case. So important.
Christy, this case dates back to 2018, July 4th to be exact. The man, Michael Kline, 57-year-old, was seen walking out of this bar alive. 3 hours later, I should say minutes later, was brutally beaten in this very same parking lot. And now police are focusing their attention on surveillance video, and specifically 2 men on that video. The victim is first seen exiting the bar, the bald guy in the center of your screen.
And you guys know, people at the bar could be annoying. They could be all drunk. They could be like really annoying. So you don't know, maybe this guy was being annoying to these people. Maybe they had a prior grudge like they're saying. Who knows what happened? But we're about to find out what happened.
911, what is your emergency?
All right, so look, this guy clearly has an outlaw shirt on. I mean, I don't know what goes through these people's heads. Like, you're going to commit a crime while you're wearing a logo. It makes absolutely no sense. I don't care what side you're on.
Hi, I have some knocked out on the floor.
In this case, the 911 calls and the surveillance video help tell the story. It is the early morning hours on Independence Day back in July. Here at the Road Dawgs Saloon on State Road 84 in Davie is where it happened. Police want you to take a close look at this video. It is shot from outside the bar. In the video, you see a man take off his shirt, turning it inside out. That's a man police.
They won't know it's me, right? Yeah. Like, come on. They already seen you. They see you turning the shirt inside out. You don't know there's cameras at the bar. Man. And then someone has to lose their life over this senseless stuff. Just crazy.
Really want to find.
And they just beat a guy up real bad.
Police say he then walks over to the parking lot where the victim is seriously beaten.
He's beat up. He's beat up really bad.
A second man is seen at the gas station wearing a hat backwards. Police say he forced the victim to the parking lot. Various folks on motorcycles are then seen leaving.
There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood.
The victim, 57-year-old Michael Kline, was rushed to the hospital. A couple months later, in November, he dies because of his injuries.
Damn.
And again, the case goes back to July of 2018, and they're hoping somebody knows these 2 folks seen on the video. Not suspects at this point, but obviously people of interest.
That's it. They're people of interest. But who knows what happened with that situation? It's just crazy. I thought I'd share it with you. So we got other situations going on. So the Thug Riders have a crazy huge indictment right now. The second Thug Rider member pleads guilty to gang conspiracy investigation. A second member of the Thug Riders Motorcycle Club accused of conspiracy scheme involving multiple acts of violence, including murder, has pled guilty. Matthew Hawkins pleaded guilty to 1 count of assault with a dangerous weapon, assault resulting in serious bodily injury in aid of racketeering activity, in aid and abetting in federal court. His plea was accepted on April 3rd, according to the U.S. Southern District of Ohio court records. His sentencing has not been scheduled. Hawkins is the second of 14 members of the motorcycle gang to plead guilty in racketeering investigation. In February, Michael Seth Henry pleaded guilty to conspiracy to engage in racketeering, conspiracy to commit violence in aid of racketeering, and commission of a violent crime in aid of racketeering. Henry's sentencing date has also not been scheduled. You know why that is, right? Do I even have to say it? At a joint status report filed on April 8th, indicated counsel for government in negotiating settlements with 10 of the 14 defendants. They want one of them pretty bad, probably, or a couple of them. The docket only has Hawkins and Henry has pleaded guilty. It is not clear if two other defendants pleaded guilty in the case or had their cases dismissed. Now, if someone is on a crazy huge indictment like this and they have their case dismissed, what do you think's going on there? Come on, do I even gotta say it? If someone's on a case like that and they get their charges dismissed, most likely you're going to see them on the stand. But that's insane. The docket only has the two pleading guilty. In addition to Hawkins and Henry, 12 other thug riders were indicted. I'm not going to say all their names because there's a whole heap of names. But Robles helped create the Dayton chapter of the Thug Riders, and he was the boss of the Midwest region, according to the U.S. State's Attorney. Marshals Peter and Fisher and Smith also reportedly held leadership roles in the Midwest and Dayton chapters. And listen, when something like this happens, boom, they just appoint new people because the whole thing has to keep running. They're not just gonna, they take the leadership. What's everyone else do? Stand there and look at each other? No, people that were in lower positions are just gonna take over the leadership roles and keep it moving. But I don't know what the future holds for these motorcycle clubs with people admitting that they're a criminal enterprise. I don't think it's good for their future. It says here the motorcycle gang is facing combination of crimes, including racketeering, assault with a dangerous weapon, assault resulting in serious bodily injury, violent crimes in aid of racketeering, conspiracy to commit assault, attempted assault with a dangerous weapon. Thug riders are accused of numerous acts of violence in Dayton, Harrison Township, Springfield, Huber Heights, London, Ohio, and Lexington, Kentucky. The group was linked to a murder of a 43-year-old Joseph Nicholson in a liquor store parking lot in Harrison Township, September 26, 2021. Court records show. Thug riders were also reportedly involved in a gunfight with rival motorcycle gang in Lexington and Springfield that blew up a former member's pickup truck in Huber Heights. The indictment in the case alleges that the Thug Riders Motorcycle Club operated in a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in acts of violence like murder, arson, and assault, said the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Ohio. Keith Parker also participated in extortion and identity fraud, it says here. So I've definitely seen the Thug Riders before. I think they have a chapter out here where I'm from. Let me see if I can find the background on the Thug Riders. The Thug Riders Motorcycle Club is considered an outlaw motorcycle club with history of criminal activity. Origins, it was founded in 2003. Has chapters in multiple countries, including the U.S., Canada, Australia, Morocco, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Germany, and the UK. The Midwest region, TRMC, include chapters in Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri. Chapters are organized hierarchy with positions like president, vice president, sergeant at arms, road captain, enforcer. Regional bosses oversee multiple chapters within their designated region. The national president leads the entire organization and is based at the mother chapter in Newark, New Jersey. The criminal activity they're engaged in a range of criminal activity, including racketeering, murder, arson, assault, and identity fraud. Accused of violent acts such as blowing up former members' truck, killing a man in a shootout, attacking rival motorcycle clubs, breaking a man's leg in a bar fight, engaging in gunfights, reportedly protects and increases their authority through threats of violence and extortion. May have support clubs that are required to pay protection money to engage in exchange for operating in their territory and protection from rival gangs. They have been accused of generating funds through illegal activities like drugs, alcohol sales, and also through legitimate businesses like stripper shows. How much do stripper shows make? Law enforcement involvement. 14 members were indicted on federal racketeering conspiracy charges. The indictment alleges the club operated as a criminal enterprise to engage in violent behavior. Federal and local law enforcement officials have arrested multiple members. And that's that. It looks like a world of shit. Since Doug riders are facing organized crime charge, has entered plea bargains. We're going to get deeper into this case at another time, and I'll explain some stuff. So in other news, this is pretty crazy. 17 people were hurt in a fiery motorcycle crash in Texas. At least 17 people were injured in a multiple motorcycle crash. Catches fire on I-35 West in Fort Worth, Texas. Emergency crews responded to reports of a major accident involving multiple motorcycles on Interstate 35 West in Fort Worth on Friday. Here's what we know. The Fort Worth Fire Department confirmed that there was a crash before 9 p.m. Friday in the southbound I-35 West Toll Road near Heritage Trace Parkway, involving 15 or more motorcycles. I wonder if it was a club. And if it was, it could possibly, don't take my word for it, but it possibly could be the Banditos or the Beast, or one of their support clubs. You never know, right? It says several of the motorcycles caught on fire. At least 17 people were injured, taken with 10 taken to the hospital for their injuries. Fort Worth police said that they believe it was a chain reaction crash that caused when it led to a vehicle experiencing a blowout. The southbound toll lanes of I-35 West were shut down in the area. Fort Worth police say they are still investigating the accident and any contributing factors. I watched a video yesterday. I'll show you guys some pictures of this situation. I was watching a video yesterday of it was like a sports bike, right? Riding down a highway. Well, it was like an expressway. And he blew by this pack of Harleys, and this dude on like a fat boy pushed him off the road into the grass, and he almost lost it, but he didn't lose it. And then the Harley took off, and a cop seen him and took off after him. I'm going to post that video on Patreon. Go check out Patreon for exclusive content that you can't see anywhere else. I cannot post that kind of content here. So here's one of the pictures from the fiery crash. I mean, you're sitting on a ticking time bomb. It looks like street bikes. There's always an advertisement going on. Hey, Richard, how are you? Richard Nixon came back from the dead. How you doing, man? So the Pope died. That's pretty major. That's a major situation right there. Let's go check into that. All right. Let's see here. Right from the Associated Press, Pope Francis, first Latin American Pintoff, who ministered with a charming, humble style, dies at 88. He was sick for a while, wasn't he? The Vatican City, Pope Francis, history, first Latin American pontiff, whatever the hell that means. Lord forgive me. Who charmed the world with his humble style and concern for the poor. Capitalism, climate change, has died Monday at 88. Bells tolled in the church from his native Argentina to the Philippines, across Rome, as news spread around the world. At 7:35 this morning, the Bishop of Rome, Francis, returned home of the Father. His eternal life was dedicated to the service of the Lord and of his church. Cardinal Kevin Farrell said that the chapel of the Dumas Santa Maria, where Francis lived, Francis, who suffered from chronic lung disease and had part of one lung removed as a young man, was admitted into the hospital on February 14, 2025 for a respiratory crisis that developed into double pneumonia. He spent 38 days there, the longest hospitalization of his 12-year papacy. I guess that's what they call the Pope when he's in the seat, the papacy. Just like the presidency, but this is called the papacy. He made his last public appearance on Easter Sunday, the day before his death, to bless thousands of people in St. Peter's Square, drawing wild cheers and applause. Beforehand, he met U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance. Wow, so J.D. Vance was probably one of the last people to see him alive. Francis performed a blessing in the same Laggia where he was introduced on March 13th, 2013, as the 266th Pope. From his first greeting that night, remarkably normal good evening, to his embrace of refugees and downtrodden, Francis signaled a very difficult tone, a very different tone for his papacy, stressing humanity over hubris for the Catholic Church, beset by scandal and accusations and interference and indifference. Damn, they put this crazy wording. This is pretty crazy. Here's an insane picture I'm going to show you guys. One of the last pictures of the Pope. Check this out. Bam. Damn, he died the next day. Look at that picture. That's a crazy picture right there. God bless him. And I mean, we're all going to die, right? Everyone on this earth will die someday. You just don't know when it's coming. So we'll see you when we get there, Mr. Pope. And hopefully you take it easy on Ramundi. Shout out to Ramundi. I'm going to call him up and we're going to see how he's been. I'm going to release a new Anthony Ramundi coming up this week. And I got tons of content on the way. We got Mischief from the Heathens MC. I got who else we got? Let's see here. All right, we got part 9 from Biker News Canada. Former outlaw tells his story. I got Manny. Shout out to Manny Vitale from Detroit. He was part of the Highwaymen. I got an interview I did with Larry Levine about Chuck Zito and his Rule 35. Oh, yeah, we dig deep into the Rule 35 with Chuck Zito. And I don't think some people aren't going to like that show, but hey, it's the truth. Shout out to Mischief from the Heathens Motorcycle Club. Shout out to Thomas. Thomas is part of a motorcycle club. He has a crazy story that he told me, and that one is a good one. So Mischief is a 5-part series. Thomas is a 5-part series, and then we got other interviews coming up. Let me see the other ones. I got Leonard Burchell. I have Smurf, a heathen motorcycle family from Australia. I got a new one with Bob from Biker News Canada about the London Outlaws and how they were created and how he was around during that time. I got a new interview with Popcorn that's going to be dropping. And then I got an interview with this guy named Travis. Shout out to Travis. Insane story. And he's doing great things. He went to prison. And now he's out helping people. And that one's going to be dropping soon too. I'm going to be dropping all this content for you guys. You know, I keep it moving. I do as much as I can. I try to give you guys the best content out there. And we're going to keep doing that. I'm going to start going live a lot more during the nighttime. And we're going to chop it up. I appreciate all you guys. We're going to get a new one. Oh, in other news, I don't know if you guys heard this. The Timu Bikers. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Yeah, those two dipshits. These guys.
To any outlaw that think that they're going to get this cut, you have no balls. So sit down in your rocker and keep rocking. To any outlaw that think that they're going to get this cut, you have no balls. So sit down in your rocker and keep rocking.
Hell's Angels ain't got enough balls to come and get this. Hell's Angels ain't got enough balls to come and get this. Hell's Angels ain't got enough balls to come and get this. Hell's Angels ain't got.
So they're talking a lot of shit about the Hell's Angels, the Outlaws, the Mongols. I don't know. Honestly, my personal opinion is they're feds. They're trying to bait motorcycle club members into doing something to them. Listen, if you're out there and you're seeing this corny shit go on, ignore it. It's not worth it. These people are trying to get someone in trouble. Don't fall for the bullshit. These guys are fake as they come. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I got a video of them on Judge Judy. We're going to go over that later on in the week. It's quite funny. He said, me and my brother can't read, so they used to beat us up or make fun of us. Two cornballs. Never seen them ride a bike ever in my life. Gary, what's going on? How are you? Papa, what's going on? Dean. Shout out to Mike Ball. Charles, what's going on? Carney's Ride. Damn, we got a lot of people just rolled in. SNS Contracting. Mike Ball, what's going on, man? Naomi, shout out to you. Mike Ball's show must have ended and everyone rushed over like, whew. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Hardwire, what's going on? Tiffany. Make sure you guys go check out Patreon. I uploaded some new content over there. And make sure you guys go subscribe to the How You Doing show. go subscribe to this show on YouTube right now. I'm going to be getting some stickers made, some Chatting with Stacks ones. I'm going to get some new Beezer, the biker. What's going on? Thank you for joining me this afternoon or this morning. It's called a raid. You can do that too as a live streamer. It seems everyone over person. Pick when you end. Oh, it is? It's called a raid? I've never heard of that shit. You guys definitely poured in. I had like, what, 25? Now I got 58. So shout out to all of you guys. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button. It helps a lot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your brothers, mothers, sisters, fathers. I don't care who you tell. Tell them all. Share it. And hit that like button. So part 9 is coming up today with Bob.
Hello, everybody. How you doing tonight? My name is Bob. I'm a retired member of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club in Canada, and I'm chatting with Stacks.
Part 9 dropping tonight. You can watch the whole interview if you join the membership, or you go to Patreon. You can see the whole thing right now. Tomorrow, we got this one.
Hey, I'm Misfit, Heathens Desert Crew MF, and I'm chatting with Stacks.
Yeah, we got a lot of content dropping. It's going to be steady stream. Bum, 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 bum. If you guys want to see the content that I filmed over there in, where's part 8? It's up right now. Is it up? Let me check. I thought I dropped it last night. Or maybe 8's coming out tonight. Damn, that was a pretty big crash that happened out in Texas, but it was street bikes. Shout out to Patched with Mooch and Jason. Shout out to Big Kaz. Yeah, number 7. Oh, number 8's dropping tonight. Number 9's dropping tomorrow, and then the next night is Misfit. So make sure you guys check it out. Part 8 will drop tonight at 10 o'clock, and then tomorrow will be part 9. It'll be wrapped up. If you guys want to see the whole thing with no interruptions, join the membership or go to Patreon and join. Make sure everyone that's watching right now, go hit the like button. I appreciate all you guys for watching this show. I put a lot of hard work into it, and I'm just getting started. I'm working on some pretty big things. There will be some big announcements soon within the next month. And I'm going to be dropping the event that I filmed over the weekend. Well, I was there Thursday, but I'm going to be dropping that. So I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch this show. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too fucking bad. Start your own podcast. I appreciate all you guys. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.